So I'm just gonna start out by playing this piece for you guys at the very beginning. Does anybody recognize this?
Yep.
It's Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, the finale. That's not the big deal if you don't know that. I'm gonna switch all the way to the end. So. I just want you to pay attention to how this finishes out. Going, doesn't it? So what can you guys tell me about the finale to this finale of Beethoven's Symphony?
Was that an authentic cadence?
Hey, you're already onto something before I even got there.
Okay.
Sean. Can anybody else say anything about it? What made that authentic?
Well, it resolved completely. All the any kind of dissonance was resolved down to the tone.
Right. So you just heard Beethoven really loves his 5-1, so you heard that sol, do, sol, do, sol, do at the very end, just keeps reiterating it. So I just wanted you guys to listen to that, to hear it orally, just to hear what a cadence sounds like. And can you guys tell me what a cadence is, just to review that really quickly? What was that? Dijay?
Musical punctuation.
Yes, it is a musical punctuation. Just leads up to a musical idea of the flow. Let me see if I can. Point of arrival or rest in the musical flow. And there are different progressions that are used to give you different cadences for different pieces. So can you guys tell me the different cadences that you guys have learned so far? Authentic? Which kinds? Have you learned the difference between perfect and oh, can I teach them that? Okay, so we'll go over this in a minute. So there are actually two kinds of authentic cadences, and we'll go over that in a minute. What are the other kinds of cadences you guys have learned? Okay. You can. What else? Should I go? I heard somebody say that. Okay. So these are the ones that I'm going to touch on today. Not so much this, but mainly these, and especially these, since you don't know about that yet. That'll be fun. Okay. So I'm going to come over to the piano over here, and I'm going to play some things for you guys. Okay. So what were you telling me about the authentic cadence? What makes it authentic? 5-1, right. Okay, so there are two different kinds of ways that you can resolve 5-1. Beethoven was a big fan of the perfect authentic cadence, which is 5-1 with the tonic being in the soprano voice. So if you just, I'll play it for you right now so you can hear it. We're in G major, so here's your tonic. Try it. 5-1 for a perfect authentic cadence. Do you guys hear do? That's soprano. Matches the bass note. Play a different one for you in a minor key. Resolving up or down to the tonic of whichever key you're in, and that makes it a perfect authentic cadence. Imperfect, it's the same thing, only in the soprano line it does not go to tonic. It'll resolve either on the third or the fifth. So if you just want to hear that. You can tell this is your bass and soprano. Not the same thing. And in a minor key. So in your bass you hear so, and in your soprano it's not do, is it? So that's basically just the difference between perfect and imperfect. It gives you the same meaning, but perfect tends to be stronger just because it sounds more final, kind of like Beethoven was using in his symphony. I like to think of it as like a nice punch in the face or something. It just sounds very, so yeah. It just sounds like the nice end of a phrase as opposed to. Can you guys tell the difference between that orally, just listening to it? Okay, so I'm gonna move on to half cadence, review that with you. What makes a half cadence? 1 to 5? Yes. So I'm gonna play that for you guys. Well, that's not right. Okay, I'll play another one in minor. I don't really like the half cadences. They kind of make me feel on edge. I always feel like I need to resolve them afterwards. But can you guys hear the half cadence? How it wants to resolve but doesn't quite make it there yet? Yeah, you typically hear those in the middle of phrases and whatnot, and it's just a continuation before it keeps on going. So I'm going to skip deceptive and go to plagal. What makes a plagal cadence?
4-1.
4-1? Okay. That is right. I'll play that for you. Have you guys ever heard that it sounds like the amen in church choirs and things like that? Yeah, that's what I tend to hear. This is probably one of my favorite cadences. It's just nice and pretty. I love listening to it. Okay, so I'm just going to write a few examples on the board, and then you guys can help me figure them out. I'm sorry, I don't write up here just because I'm so short. All right. So we're in the key of, I'm going to be all the way down here. Okay, so we're in the key of D major. And I want to resolve this to a perfect authentic cadence. What would I need to make sure that I do to make this perfect? Is
It needs to move to the D.
yes. Okay. And what does my bass note need to do? D. Right. And then your inner voices can pretty much go wherever they want, just as long as it's in the chord and I have it doing this. So I'm actually going to do the same key, only just to reiterate what I just told you guys. How would I make this an imperfect, authentic cadence?
Make sure the top note is anything but.
Right. Okay, so what note do you want to move it to? F. Sounds good. And bass note? D. Okay. And we'll just, wow, that was not straight at all. Okay. We'll just move this. And I'm going to play play this for you guys just so you can hear it one more time, the differences between. And honestly, I don't know why I wrote such an open chord because my hands cannot reach this. So I'm gonna play the C sharp, like out of context. That's your perfect. Imperfect. Do you hear the difference? Does anybody need me to play it for them one more time?
Could you play it one more time in minor?
In minor? Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure I get it. So here's your perfect. Here's your soprano bass. And then imperfect. Got it? Awesome. Okay. So remove on from this. Okay. So new key. Let me just write it over. That was really weird looking. Okay. So we're in F major. Okay. I want to go from a 1 to a 5, so a half cadence. What would I need to do? What? And on the fifth, so what note would that be? Mm-hmm. All right. And then, does it really matter which note is what for the rest of them? Yeah. So, do that. Okay. Any questions on this? You guys are really quiet. Is it just that it's 8 a.m. in the morning? Okay. So, fair enough. I understand. I got up at 5:45. All right. I'm sorry, my handwriting's so sloppy. So, what cadence is this right here? Plagal. Okay, so what do I need to do to resolve this? Yeah, we're still in F major.
Your bass is good.
Yeah, just a basic 1 chord. Okay. So you would just something like this. And I'll play both of these chords for you guys again. So this is your half cadence.